Hello, friends. Good morning, good day. Welcome to Bus Panj Minute. Today we are starting the English version of Bus Panj Minute, and we'll call it, if you approve, 5 minutes, please. So, because lots of friends in North America, South America, South Asia, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Europe, and Africa, they have problems with understanding my Punjabi. So they wanted me and they requested me that I should also have an English version of my popular vlog, Bus Panj Minute. So we start today with your good wishes, with your blessings, and with your support. So I thought, why not start with my newspaper industry? How did I got into newspaper industry? It's a very interesting story. When I was a school-going child, I got interested in reading newspapers. Probably I was in 5th or 6th standard, and I was very passionate about reading sports stories. So on holidays or weekends, whenever the school was closed, I would get up early in the morning and walk towards the bus stand, the interstate bus stand, as our hawker, newspaper hawker. He would bring newspapers from Clock Tower in Ludhiana. So I would almost walk 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, and I'll get him halfway. I'll get my newspapers, and on my way back from the bus stand till my home, about 2.5 kilometers, I would read the Tribune. Because the moment I would reach home, there would be so much demand for the paper. Everybody would love to read the paper because they wanted to finish the paper before they go to their work. My elder brothers, my younger brother also. So I used to take that time while getting the newspaper from the hawker till I could walk back home. So I would use those 20-25 minutes in reading my newspaper and making room for others the moment the paper is delivered at home. So those days, the Tribune used to cost around 2 annas or 12 paise or 13 paise. I don't remember exactly, it was 13 paise or 15 paise a day. And it used to be 6 pages only. But still, there was a lot to read in those days, in those newspapers. So, besides English Tribune, we were also on Sundays, since we had a couple of tenants in our house, they used to get Urdu newspaper, Hind Samachar. So, one of our tenants, Hakam Rai Pyare Lal, they would invariably buy Hind Samachar. So, on Sundays, my mother, my elder brother, since they knew Urdu very well, so they would ask for his paper so that they can read Urdu newspaper. And so we used to wonder why and how come they know Urdu and we don't know Urdu. Because I was good in languages, even in the 6th standard, I could read, write in all 3 languages, Hindi, Punjabi, and English. But I used to feel handicapped because I couldn't read, write, or even decipher whatever was there in Urdu newspapers. And but my elder brother, eldest, Mr. Harjas Paul, he was very fond of reading Urdu newspaper every Sunday. So was my mother, because she was good. She did understand Gurmukhi. She would write Gurmukhi. She would do her part from a Gutka Sahib of Gurmukhi. But she didn't know Hindi. So she would love either a Urdu newspaper or a Punjabi newspaper every morning. So reading newspaper was a passion in the family. Everybody in the family would love to have a glance at everyday's paper before going to work, so they would know what is happening around. So that used to be our routine, and this is how I got interested in newspapers. And then when I was in 7th or 8th standard, so I used to follow letters to the editor column also. So I thought, why not? I should also write a letter. And I started writing letters. There used to be one guy, he used to write regularly in the Tribune letters column, Mr. Sundar Singh Gyani from Dayalpur or something. So he would write on almost every subject. So I thought one day I would write a letter. And luckily, it appeared. And then, as I grew up, I went to 9th and 10th, then I started writing regularly. Every other month, 1 or 2 of my letters would appear in the Tribune. So that encouraged me a lot. So I thought everybody would, oh, your letter appeared in the Tribune, we saw it. And so I used to get so excited and delighted whenever I would see my name in print. So that was the beginning. Then, while I was in BSc, then I thought, why not write for Sunday reading? So I wrote a piece. I think my first piece in the Sunday Tribune while I was a student was on famous wrestler Dara Singh. So I wrote a piece, it appeared as a double column in Sunday reading, and the world champion Rustam-e-Hind Dara Singh. So I did a lot of research on him, and then because those days there was no Google, nothing. So I read a number of books, I got all old clips, whatever I had in my scrapbook. So I put them together and wrote a piece on Dara Singh, and it appeared in Sunday Tribune. That made me very, very happy and excited. That was my first piece in the Tribune. And after a couple of months, then I wrote another interesting piece. That was very, very interesting. That was about, did Indians invent the kiss? So that piece got me a lot of applause. A lot of friends congratulated me. They asked me from where did I get the information. I said I read a lot of books. I read a lot of magazines. And ultimately I put all the information together and I traced the history of a kiss. So that was my second article, and this is how I got in. And then before I could finish my BSc, I wrote another one. This was on high heels, stiletto. So I wrote an interesting piece because on those days I used to get a lot of newspapers from Canada. My elder brother, Surjit Pal, he had moved to Canada, and he used to send us some newspaper clips of interest to me. And so ultimately I gathered information on high heels, why girls would wear high heels and pin, like what they used to call it, very stiletto, what the particular name they used to give it. So very thin at the bottom. So stiletto heels. So I wrote a piece on that, and that was my third piece. And then I decided, yes, I can write for a newspaper. And by the time I finished my BSc, and unfortunately, I couldn't go to a medical college where I wanted to be. So I decided, since God doesn't want me to be a doctor, so why not become a journalist? So this is how my journey into journalism started. I hope this recall of my history, my inclination towards journalism will interest you. So just to say hello and to tell you, I will be sharing every other day a new episode, some nostalgic and some historic events that shaped my life, shaped my professional career. Thank you very much, and hope to see you again with a new episode. Till then, goodbye.